Hi, and thanks for tuning in to my first impressions of the new Warhammer Space Marines 40k 2. Pretty sure that's how you say it. Do me a favor, go buy Warhammer, and because I want more games like this to come out. So I recently have been kind of on the bandwagon train, been buying the newest games that have been coming out. I've bought Wukong and I bought Warhammer, and I have to admit I am oh so pleasantly surprised by Warhammer. I am what you would call a Warhammer virgin, right? The only thing I know about Warhammer are like the Magic cards, because Magic came out with the set of Warhammer a few months or maybe a year ago. I forget the time frame, but that set was amazing. So I was totally a fan of Warhammer after seeing that, and I kind of got into the lore. But aside from that, the figures and all that always was a little too expensive for my blood. I already have enough hobbies, and I definitely can't afford another one. So I kind of shelved that interest, and then I heard that Space Marines 2 was coming out. I was kind of iffy on it till I saw some of those trailers, and I was sold. And they undersold it. This game is awesome. You might hear a lot of people comparing it to like the golden age of 360 games and PS3 games like Gears of War and God of War and maybe like early 2018 Doom. And I'd kind of agree with that. The game gives me old school vibes in a good way. Personally, for me, this game is a great sidestep to the games that I've currently been playing. So I've been playing a lot of I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring with the DLC coming out, and I got Wukong shortly after that. So a lot of like, not necessarily open world games with Wukong, but a lot of games where I gotta go look around and check every corner and make sure I'm finding all the items. And honestly, sometimes that can be real tiresome. And Warhammer is kind of a game where you could look around, but there's not really anything that you're gonna miss other than some ammo, maybe a stem pack here and there. So I enjoy being able to just go through the levels and killing Tyranids and supporting my team and just having a great time that way. So it's a lot of fun. I'm having a great time, and I like not thinking. I like not having to think. The gameplay that you're watching here is just me playing last night. This is actually my first time ever recording gameplay, so that's an experience, but it was super fun. I am really enjoying this game. I put it on the third to last difficulty, so there's 4 difficulties. I put it on third because it said that's kind of like the way that the game was intended to be played, and it's difficult. But in a good way. I really enjoy it. I like the fact that like I'm not kind of just slapping every single combat or every fight. You know, I'm not going through it too easily. I'm having a pretty decent challenge, and I enjoy it. So yeah, you might see me die a few times in the gameplay. I don't know, depending if I edit it out, and because I don't want you guys to see me die. But if not, then enjoy that. So let me so I kind of went over some of the pros of just kind of how this game's fallen into my life right now. But some of the real pros that I see are combat. I think the combat's great. I think that the weapon variety is amazing. I think that the melee combat in unison with the gunplay is really great. I think it's very well done. I think that's kind of hard to do sometimes if you're not like an action game. When you think of games that have a lot of melee and a lot of like gunfighting, the first thing that comes to my mind is Devil May Cry. And Devil May Cry obviously being like a completely different type of game. I mean, Devil May Cry is definitely more like an action game. I feel like this game is foremost a third person shooter, and then it kind of goes into the melee. But I like having that option, and I like there are some actual classes that focus on melee. I'm not completed with the campaign just yet, but I have dabbled into some PvP and some PvE. And so far, my favorite is the PvE because of the class system. I like being able to jump into other classes, and they have certain they have like certain weapons and certain melee weapons or certain guns that are attuned to that class, right? Like that's what they're proficient in, and I really enjoy that. I think that's super cool. Obviously, when you're playing through campaign, Titus is kind of like, he's like the best space marine. He can use any item, but I like the idea when you go to PvP, or excuse me, PvE and PvP, that you have to pick a character that's a little bit more specialized in the items and the weapons that they're using, and that's what I kind of lean towards more. I like that progression system, and I think that that's going to be a lot of fun, being able to level up each of your marine separately and kind of get more proficient with those weapons. And some of the skins for the weapons look really, really cool. And you can't ignore the fact that this game is a fully priced game and has, from my understanding, no microtransactions, and that's a huge deal for me. I might make a video about this later on, but I am so sick of games that I think look real awesome but are just ruined by the fact that they have microtransactions. They just it turns me off so much. I don't even want to try the game, because I don't want to do that. In my brain, I'd much rather spend all the money up front and be able to enjoy all the game has to offer and unlock things on my own pace. But as soon as you put microtransactions or some pay to win stuff on there, like I can't do it. I don't like it. And so this game, perfect. The progression system, exactly what a person like me really wants to see is, hey, if I play this character enough times, I will unlock XYZ items. I will get this many perks for this character, right? I'm not going to have to roll for it or have to open loot boxes until I get the item that I want or weapon that I want, right? This is what gaming's all about. And this is 360. This is the kind of crap that they're talking about. This is the kind of like 360 PS3 era gameplay that they are talking about. And that's kind of crazy. Isn't that kind of sad, the fact that we have to go back to how things were, because right now it's so toxic and it's so overplayed. I don't want to get like, I feel like I'm like going off on a tangent right now, so I'll kind of stick to this game. But I'll definitely, if you guys are interested in hearing my takes on like free to play games and games like Concord and things like that, I would love to make those videos. Just, let me know what you guys want to see on the comments down below, and make sure to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I really appreciate it, and it really does help, especially for a little itty bitty channel like this one. It's so small. It's such a small channel. Well, there's just a few, honestly, I kind of just turned on my camera and started to talk, but those are some pros that I can't speak this game's praises enough. As a newcomer to the series, it's amazing. Those are just some of the highlights that I see from the few, like the 10 hours that I've played so far. But I do have some cons, some concerns. And the major one is just content. I don't want to, again, I'm not done with the game, but I know that from what I've heard, the campaign is about 8 to 10 hours, which is, I'm totally fine with that. I don't care about, like the length of a campaign, honestly. I mean, I'm a Resident Evil fanboy, and those campaigns are really short. I'll play through those multiple times over and over again. My concern more is with the PvP missions. So far, I don't know if there's a page I'm missing, but looks like there's like 6 primary PvP missions. Excuse me, I keep saying PvP. So far, my concern is the PvE missions. There are 6 PvE maps that I see, and obviously you can do the campaign alongside somebody, but I feel like the 6 maps is a little, it's not a lot. And personally, I don't mind replaying missions over and over again. My concern comes to when I recommend the game to a friend, when I want to play with somebody else. Are they going to be okay with replaying the same missions over and over again? That's where my worry is. Like, that's not an issue that I necessarily have, but I do play a lot of video games with like my wife, right? And I just don't, I see trying to convince her to, hey, let's replay these 6 missions over and over again. It doesn't seem like it's going to be that easy of a sell. And honestly, that, as of right now, is my major concern, is just the amount of content in the game. I don't think we're getting skimped out, but I don't feel like we've gotten a full game. I know that there's a season pass, and it's probably gonna have a lot of good DLC and a lot of stuff, but it just feels like, I don't know how to explain this. The game feels complete, but it feels like there's a lot more content that we can get into. So I'll update you guys after a few weeks of playing and seeing how I feel, whether I'm really bored of the campaign or of the game. But as of right now, I'm super obsessed and I can't get off this game. I think it is so much fun. Anyways, if you actually stuck it out this far, first of all, wow, thank you. That's kind of crazy. That doesn't happen often, and I really, really appreciate it. Please leave a comment, subscribe, all the other stuff. Really, it just helps out the algorithm. I'm trying to get those impressions up and the view counts up, because as you can see, no face cam today because my camera is broken, and I gotta kind of work around that and make videos kind of around the fact that my camera is broken. And as a new content creator, I don't 100% feel comfortable with spending a lot of money on equipment because, yeah, I'm not making money. We're out here struggling. I just have a normal job and everything. So the sooner that my YouTube pops off, the sooner I can get a camera and better equipment. And if you're sticking out this far, you really help with that. So I really appreciate it. But thank you so much and for listening to my first impressions, and have a great day.